Hi, everybody. Instead of having committee reports, we're not going to tonight because of the time. Can everybody hear me all right? It seems awfully low. All right, watch the camera. First of all, there's a camera right here, so please don't argue in front of the camera. That's right. Can't hear. All right, all right. That should be our only complication in the night. Okay, it's really hard to hear myself, so it's too loud. All right. I need everybody to be quiet, please. Quiet, please. We're trying to record this, and too much background noise will cut out what I have to say, and you don't want to miss what I have to say, right? Okay, so sorry we have to do this, but it's a full event tonight. All right, let me just tell you, tonight because it's a CD2 race debate, we're not going to give any development updates for Council District 2 for obvious reasons, but I will give you a brief update about CD5. How many of you are aware that the Ralph's Supermarket at Hazleton and Ventura is going to be remodeled? Can I see a show of hands? All right, well, that's a very large-scale development that's planned for our community. Quiet, please. Voices down. Sorry. Basically, a lot of rumors are floating around in the community, which tells me that more things are happening behind the scenes than should be. So we'll be contacting Councilmember Koretz's office to find out if the plans are still proceeding for a 3-story, completely filled parking lot that now exists as open space will be a 3-story Ralph's Supermarket with 1 floor subterranean parking, and then the other floor will be ground floor retail parking combination, and then more parking in the store. And all except access to the parking will be through the underground tunnel, as well as there'll be, to park your car, you'll be going up and down an escalator with your groceries. So besides it being a specific plan busting project, this is a project that we anticipate a lot of work coming our way. So if you're interested, if you live in the neighborhood, and you all do because this is a regional supermarket, then come see me after the meeting. All right, we met briefly, well not briefly, it was about a 2-hour meeting with Councilmember Paul Koretz about the Buckley School. So we're currently waiting for a release. Thank you. We're currently waiting for a release of a letter that the council member has graciously agreed to prepare to inform the school what he now expects of them. Long story short, Councilmember Weiss, when he pushed the project through, made absolutely no provision for protection of the neighborhood. And what's important to understand is Buckley has a very long construction period plan. It should coincide about the time Ralph's Market is done, Fashion Square goes under the shovel, as well as the Brownies project, which is at the corner of Hazleton and Ventura 2. My point in telling you this is that you just treasure the stillness right now, because I guarantee you, once the economy recovers, and it will, then all the large-scale developments that are proposed for CD2 and CD5 will go forward, and we will see the impact. So we are working behind the scenes to get traffic protections in place, to get the neighborhoods protected, to get the adequate funding to cover, to make sure that as prices increase, that there is money available and set aside to protect the neighborhoods and the community too. Now, I want to show of hands. How many of you are aware right now the City Council's in marathon budget negotiations with the unions? Well, let me just tell you, it's unprecedented what's going on. Basically, last I heard they're at a standstill, which is why they've been talking for the last 48 hours. It's boiling down to whether or not the City Council is going to stand up to the unions or not, and say to them, look we're in basically a depression, we can't afford to make pension contributions, let alone fulfill our obligations. Just to give you all a nutshell summary of what's going on with the City Council and its spending priorities right now, the city is spending $1 million a week that they do not have. They have borrowed $100 million with no means to pay it back. and a deficit of $500 million this year, with an anticipated deficit shortfall totaling $1 billion by next year. Just to give you a further insight, why do things cost so much in the city of Los Angeles when it comes to pensions, and we're talking public employee pensions. For example, if a fireman, using round numbers only for argument's sake, makes $100,000 a year as a salary, he contributes 6% to his salary. The city contributes 40%. So that's $40,000 a year per firemen, if you will, to fund their pensions. So you begin to understand why, and understand why the unions are fighting so hard to protect what they have, as we all, and that means every single person here, is facing major, major cuts to all of the services that we've long grown accustomed to paying for in our property taxes. I also want to bring some good news, because I hate ending on bad news. Though that's usually what I do, isn't it? We were successful in having the Planning, Land Use, and Management Subcommittee, which is very powerful, to agree to impose an appeals process for the reclassification of about 50,000 homes, and there's at least 1,300 and more in Sherman Oaks throughout the city, that are being changed from their current designation as hillsides to flatlands. And we argued successfully, thanks to Bob Anderson, our chairman, that it is important that homeowners always don't fall into that bottom line the city likes to work from, one size fits all, that homeowners have a right of recourse to seek appeal. So we'll keep you posted with that, and if you live in the hillside ordinance, the objective is to get that hillside ordinance. It's the anti-mansionization ordinance for the hills, which is paralleled right now to a law that was enacted for all the flats throughout the city. That's anticipated to be passed by the end of this summer. So a lot of the big boxes are a thing of a past, but I will warn you, I guess I do have to end on a bad note, that many of the problems we had hoped would be addressed in all the McMansion laws, except for Studio City, Lisa. Because I know Studio City has their own set of protections. You will still see large structures, you just won't see them as ugly as they were before, hopefully. So if you have any questions, come see me after the meeting, and thank you very much.